this video, we're going to be talking about true, false, and the if and else system. So first, we're going to talk about true and false. So true and false is part of what in Python language is called Boolean values. So a Boolean is either true or false, and true or false substitute for 1 and 0. So you can kind of think about it that way. So we do, for example, let's say, so if we say that true is 1 and false is 0, then we can technically say true plus true, and it would output 2, because 1 plus 1 is 2. And we would do true plus false. It would output 1, because 1 plus 0 is 1. So when we're using these Boolean values, we can also calculate whether calculations are correct or wrong. For example, 3 plus 5 equals 9. This would be false, but keep in mind that we have to use 2 equal signs, because we'll talk about that later in this video. And then false, because 3 plus 5 is supposed to be 8. So you can also make comparisons. For example, 3 is greater than 2. That's true. And we can say that, for example, 1 is bigger than 2 plus 3. Well, that's not true. So it would say false. And then you can also use comparisons in true or false with or and those similar keywords. It's basically logic. So if we were to do true or false, well, or means that if you have true, then you would have true, and if you have no trues, then it must be false. So if you have either one true, it's going to be true. So in this case, it's going to be true. And if you have true and false, well, and means that in order to be true, 2 of these have to be true. So if 1 is false, then everything is false. And that is true and false. And now we're going to move on to the if and else systems. So if and else is a bit more complicated than true and false. So if and else is made of this structure. So if, and then whatever you put here, the if condition is like something, then you would have whatever you have code here. And keep in mind that you have to tab or 4 spaces right here. Normally Python automatically do it for you, but if they didn't, or it's some sort of error, you can do it. And in Mac you can do the tab bar or just 4 spaces like that. And then after that, you would just write anything you want. So we have an example here. If 3 plus 5 equals 8, that means that's true, so it would run this code. Then you have to have this after the condition. After that, you would put whatever you want here. For example, print 3. Oh yeah, you have to put quotation marks. 3 plus 5 is 8. And then the else system works like this. So if this is not true, then you would put else, and then a column, and then tab, and then enter. It'll do the tab for you, and then you can put whatever you want here. For example, print 3 plus 5 is not 8. So it will definitely print 3 plus 1 is 8, because 3 plus 5 is 8. So then that is how the system works. And if we save this and run this, it would, and I'll save this as if else.py. And if we run this, it would do 3 plus 5 is 8. So there's this thing to be aware of right here. So you can do as many ifs as you like, as many. And also it glows orange because it's a condition keyword. So condition keywords are like keywords that is used to judge something. For example, if is a condition keyword, else is a condition keyword, try is a condition keyword, and all that, and it glows orange. You can have as many ifs as you want, but you cannot have an else and no ifs. that will run a syntax error, and Python will automatically tell you that it's wrong. But you can have if and no else, but you can't have else and no if. That wouldn't make sense. It's like saying, if my favorite color is, like, for example, if this, if what I told you is wrong, then do this. Well, you didn't even tell me what you're trying to tell me, so it wouldn't make sense. So that's the if and else system, and you can use that to apply to your print and all your variable conversion and all that stuff. See you later in the next video. How to Python.